Hi guys, welcome back to another segment of Unmasking the Truth. And today I am so elated because look who I have with me, the beautiful, talented, hardworking Mina Amrith, the Vice President of the over 60 million members in healthcare of SEIU, Mina. Mina, do you want to say hi to my viewers?
Thank you, Kelly, and hello everyone. It's nice to be here. I am now in the hot seat, as Kelly calls it. But before Kelly, you go on, I want to personally thank you for inviting me here, and
of course,
and also, I want to thank you for keep doing this platform. It is so important for Black women and women of color to be doing this sort of work and paving the way for other young women to do this work. So
yes.
Thank you. And who knows, maybe one day you'll have your own show called the Kelly Stevenson Show. So I said it here first.
We're going to put that on the back burner for a bit. But honestly, I want to say thank you for accepting my invitation. And before I get on with the getting on, I'm going to say this is my disclaimer. Everything and anything that I'm going to discuss and talk about right here today, it's all me. It's about me. This is me and this is my show. So Mina, yes. I want you to know I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions. If you feel uncomfortable or if you don't want to answer, or if you feel that, you know what, you're getting too much in my business, Kelly, you don't need to answer. You're free to say, pump your brakes there, homegirl. Okay. So anyways, Mina, I want you to introduce yourself. I want you to tell me and tell my viewers a little bit about Mina, who you are, what you do, and where you come from.
Okay, well, Mina Amrith, I'm the Executive Vice President for SEIU Healthcare. I am a daughter, mother, sister, friend. I am an RPN, and I'm still practicing my RPN right now. But I come from the membership and still come from the membership. And I was a chief steward at Sunnybrook Health Sciences Center many years ago. By the way, I've been practicing for about 25 years now.
Oh, wow.
And I was a chief steward back in Sunnybrook. And, you know, I was voluntold to become a steward and chief steward, which I did not want to do.
But I guess you did a good job.
I was approached by my rep at that time, and she said, you know, we need a steward who represents the nursing field, because at that time there wasn't anyone. So I ended up taking up the role because I was voluntold, and then I put together a nurse steward at that time at Sunnybrook, and then moved on. I then became more active in SEIU. I shared a lot of my personal stories.
And I don't want you to talk anything about that because we're going to get into it a little bit of dabble. So I'm going to pause you right there. Not that I'm cutting you off, but I'm intrigued because you said you come from the membership, you are from the membership, and you still practice.
Yes.
Does that mean that the Vice President of SEIU is paying union dues?
I am not, just to be clear, I am not with SEIU, but I am somewhere that I wish not to
disclose. So the thing is, but you are an RPN.
I am.
You're an RPN. And Sunnybrook is basically governed under what unionship?
SEIU.
Okay, just to make it clear. But you know what, Mina, looking at you, nobody could tell that you're like a bulldog with a big bark, because you just you look just so, so timid and so, but I guess you are, because your trajectory in the union just keeps just going up, because first you were a steward and then you became basically I'm not gonna lie, I peek in your bio and I do know that you sat on the women's seat on the executive board. So I want to know, from back then when you were an executive board member sitting on the woman's seat and what you're doing now, how does it differ? And if what kind of a difference did you make then? And being the vice president now, do you feel that you've made any changes? And if you did, like, you want to say what it is? I know it's
That was
very
a
long.
lot.
I know, but take it step by step.
So let's begin when I was on the executive board representing the women's seat. So at that time, I took a chance, Kelly. Like I was like every member. I wanted to make change. In my personal experience, I wanted to make change. I didn't know how to. So at that time, I was approached by a lot of at that time MLD department, the organizers.
MLD, okay.
Remember LEAD program?
Thank you.
And Tyler was there too at that point. So, we connected, and the next thing you knew, I took a chance and I ran for the executive board, and I was elected.
Nice.
Now, during that time of my term of the executive board, I really enhanced the issues of women, specifically domestic violence. Having a woman who's come from that place, I wanted to make that change for women. So what we did is we first of all raised awareness, because we need to raise awareness because it's taboo.
Yes.
Women don't want to talk about it, and women of color, we don't talk about it.
Yeah, because it's a stigma, and we're ashamed because nobody wants to say that they're being abused at home or whatever abuse it is. Nobody wants to talk about it, right? Because already you're stigmatized as being colored. Much more to have that attached to it. Am I correct?
It's also culture.
Yeah. Oh God.
Like our culture doesn't allow us to speak. Like we're brought up from little that women, girls are to be in the kitchen, cook and clean, and we take care of our husband, and that's
not anymore, homie.
But that's right, not anymore. But so the changes that I wanted to make is that, one, as a survivor, let me do that again, as a survivor, because I think it's important.
Yes, we need to highlight that. Yes.
And it's okay to say that word. I am a survivor. No, not to be ashamed of it.
You know that song by Beyonce? I am a survivor. That's she, that. Yeah. Go on.
She, that.
Well, I'm not going to front because, I'm a little bit of, I'm a Jamaican. And originally you're from...
I am from East Africa, Tanzania.
Yes, and see, that's the thing. We need to celebrate where we're from, whether we were born there or we're derived from there by your parents and whatever. But I'm not cutting you off with mumbo jumbo. What change, now that you're the vice president, what change have you made, or what change do you think you want to make?
So Charlene, our president, is the one that gives each of us our portfolio. So Tyler gets a portfolio, I get a portfolio. And part of my portfolio right now is to support the hospital sector.
Okay.
And second, to support the community executive board seat. So I have the privilege to help with those seats to ensure that they are also saying their messages or share their vision of what they want to bring, just like I did when I was on the board, right? So some of the changes, continue to be that voice for women, but on a higher level.
Yes.
So I am part, which I go every year, the United Nations. We go there, we make policies, we work with the government. I'm on the CLC Women's Committee where all these policies or articles for a cut of agreement come in. Like, it's that level that we do all those changes that you see in your cut of agreement.
And your accolades just keep going on and on and on. But one of the things that, okay, let me tell you how I remember you. And no, seriously, how I remember you. And even I was talking to my bestie today, Sophia, you know her, and this is what we were talking about. The last Labor Day parade that SEIU had, and a member was in trouble on one of the trucks, right? And
Yes.
you jumped on, they drag you on, and you didn't even think about it. Like, in the instance when I saw you, I don't feel like you thought about it. I feel like you saw somebody in trouble, in danger, in need, and you just acted. And is that the kind of person you are in duty and out of duty? Like, you need to tell me what was going through your mind at that time.
At that time, well, can I use bad words?
You can use whatever word. This is our thing. You can go ahead.
I saw one of our members collapsing, and I said, "Oh shit!" Like it's the nurse in me, and I just did what I needed to do. It was my nursing cap that came on, and
you just acted.
Just acted like I do with my family, with my friends, with everyone.
So and I'm going to dig deep here because you know me, I really don't, when I want to know something, I just want to know. I mean, you know that women's voices has been suppressed for a while.
Yep.
As you said before, once upon a time, and even still now, we were told to stay in the kitchen and keep the house, right? But as the days go by, we see that we're climbing and we're trying to break free, right? So as a woman of color, right, and a minority, how big is your voice in decision making? I mean, you're the vice president now. The person who came before you, I'm pretty sure that was a male. Do you feel that you're viewed in the same light? Like, are you respected among your counterparts? Because you had to have seen him in being an executive board member, you had to have seen him in his glory. So I want to know, do you feel that you shine the same way? Do you feel that you are taken seriously the same way? Like, tell me about that. And I'm serious because you never know. Maybe one day I want to sit in your seat, honey.
Absolutely.
Or whatever.
Absolutely.
Anyways, yeah.
And this is the beauty of it. So just to clarify, the last executive vice president was a female, a white female.
Oh, was a female, yeah.
And so I don't know how she went, but I'll tell you what I went, and I'm being very frank. And I say it to a lot of folks, a lot of women. It is not easy for a woman of color to be in this role.
I know.
It is difficult because I have to continuously prove myself, and I have to have facts, I have to have reasons, and I have to keep going over and over again. I have to speak to white males, and they look at me like, who are you?
Yeah.
But if my white female colleague came, no problem. I kept getting like, I don't understand what you mean. I don't understand. What do you mean? I don't understand.
So were you speaking a different language?
I can speak different language if you wanted me. I could, but I was speaking English. It's things like that. So like, women of color have to continuously push and prove ourselves, and it is these kind of areas that we're able to voice our concerns. We're able to voice what's going on. Women need to be at the table in order for us to make decisions, period.
And when you said women, I mean, it should be women of all culture, women of all background, because I know that your union is a very diverse union. And you guys basically preach respect, love, and loyalty to all of your membership, right? So to hear you say this, it's kind of heart-wrenching. I want to know, how many times have you gone to your bed crying? Yes, I'm serious. Go ahead. How many times? Can't count?
No.
Can't count. And have you ever wished that you were of another color, race? Because then maybe you would have been taken more seriously?
Very, very... very quick, like 1 second, and then I said, no, I am proud of who I am. I am a proud African woman, and I will always be one. And I don't ever want to wish that I wish I was white.
Right.
The only thing I want is that you
listen
and respect me the same way you respect a white woman, right? I know, I don't know if you're going to go into there, but white privilege. And I always say this to my white
counterparts,
white women, my white female colleagues, and because they ask me, Mina, like, help me understand how we can help, how we can make things easier. And I always say, you can use your white privilege to make room for women like us. That's how you help us, right? So if I'm a white woman and I am in a role where I have power, which I don't like to use that word power, and Kelly wants to be the vice president, as a white woman, I'm going to use my white privilege to make sure that Kelly comes along with me. So for every door that opens, take a sister with you and bring her up.
But yes, and you know what, I do, I admire what you're saying, but
it's not reality.
Sometimes, exactly, and aren't we our own worst enemies? Because why do we always say we're like crabs in a barrel? Instead of trying to push each other up, we pull each other down. So you tell me something now. I do get it. You're from the membership, and you're a very active member. But what about the regular, Jane and Joe who aren't so active, but all of a sudden realize that, SEIU is hiring, and I want to get a job. What would be a regular Jane Joe chances of getting a job if they can put in a phone call to somebody who is up there already, or somebody who is, have influence on the hiring platform? How easy, and what would that member needs to do?
Well, I don't think it's that easy to make a phone call and say you want to come in there.
You never know.
My experience.
Well, you know what? You have people who know the right asses to kiss, the right people to call. So how would somebody who doesn't know whose ass to kiss, right? And because in everything, that goes down. So qualifications.
Depends what you're
looking for. So how do the regular members know when SEIU is hiring?
It's on the LinkedIn stuff like that, like those places they have.
So
have the postings up.
So the postings are on your website?
Not sure about SEIU website, but I know other websites like LinkedIn. That's all I'm aware of.
Well,
and sometimes, Kelly, internally we do have to say, there's an email that goes out and says that we're looking for a rep. So if you know anyone, to share the posting with them,
and basically apply. That's how that happens. Okay, well, that's good to know, because a lot of times I get questions from members who would like to do that, but also when it comes to activism, a lot of people, I don't know if they don't know about that, or if they just don't want to be about that. But also a big part of it is you got to show up also to show out, right?
Absolutely.
So with that being said, your activism, right? I get it. You're a steward. You were on the women's committee. Now you are the vice president, a woman. You tell me, what changes do you think you can see coming for your predominantly female union members?
Internally, I can see what's coming is changing the face within our union. I know if you've seen our leadership, we've got Tyler and myself who are people of color, right?
Yeah.
So and from that to different levels of areas in our organization. So what we're doing now is we're starting to hire differently. So folks who are diverse, we take first into consideration. And coming from the community seat, so if you're LGBTQ, you come from the Indigenous committee, so all those also taken into consideration. But I do want to say that recently, well, not recently, well, yeah, recently I've been on it. We have an OE&I, Equity and Inclusion committee that Charlene, Tyler, and myself are on. And Ainsworth is also part of it, who is a social justice capacity builder. So this is where decisions happen about diversity within our organization because it's needed. We need to make sure that our union represents our membership. We look like our union.
That's
We
right.
look like
we
our
are,
membership.
That's right. We are our membership, and I'm happy that you're putting that out there. Really, I am happy. But let's like switch it up a bit and go into politics and what's happening today, especially with COVID, and now we're going into the fourth wave, and our employers making it kind of difficult. Do you support that? Everyone should be, it's like mandatory for the LTC or the hospital people. Shouldn't it be a choice? Like, how do you see that?
So that's a tough question. And I will speak for myself as a nurse. I support vaccine because we are frontline. We do have to take care of the community and we're exposed to it, just like the flu vaccine. So I do support the vaccine. And what was the other question, Kelly?
Okay, well, let me put it to you like this, okay? Your membership is diverse, right?
Yes.
And they're talking about hesitancy where vaccination is concerned, right? So tell me what is the union, what is your union doing to kind of influence or to not even educate, I would say, educate people on being vaccinated? Like, what are you guys doing in terms of that?
We're not encouraging, and what we're saying is that
I use the word educate.
Right, but we are not encouraging.
But you're educating.
That you do have a choice. We're not educating members that you have to take it.
No.
Right? We're just saying that, it's there, but we're not the ones who mandated it.
No, of course not.
We don't want that.
But would you support a government that does?
That's a tricky question.
I don't. Is it? And that's a pause that you'll think
That's
about.
when Mina does her work.
Oh my God, I kind of but truth to be known, and we have to say it as it is, because that's the barrel of the gun that we're looking down right now, where it's like put up or you have to get out, because everything seems to be going in that direction. But I would like to know the union's view. I mean, I asked Tyler back then, but we've progressed like how much months now forward. I just want to know if you guys have been having that kind of dialogue, like that conversation, considering that you have the three officials, which is you, Charlene, and Tyler. I'm just thinking, is that a part of your kind of, I wouldn't say daily, but I mean, it should be at the tip of your tongue kind of a thing, because I mean, every day it's on the news. So I just want to know, are you guys, why are you smiling?
Smiling.
Are you guys discussing that, like, if needs be, and members need your support, how will you support them, and what would you do?
For the mandate of the vaccination.
Yes.
So actually, Kelly, just Friday and yesterday, like we're going to be getting together tomorrow. Charlene and reached out to Tyler and myself to have these conversations. So we're going to start that kind of.
Oh wow! So
because we just
psychic.
heard we just heard
psychic, you
that it's mandated, right?
Yeah.
So now we're gonna have that discussion on Monday, actually.
Yeah, because you
how to
do
support.
have some of your members that really is really against
Yep.
it for
Yep.
for a lot of
Yep.
reasons. You have their biblical the
Yep.
biblical one, like religious, and they have their own thinking that this isn't, it's
Scientific,
poison
yeah.
and all of these things. But you got to start making yourself
Yep.
prepared, getting prepared,
sure.
because this is really coming.
Yeah, it is.
So September is coming around, and you guys always have your Labor Day
Yep.
thing.
Parade.
So yes.
So-called
So
parade.
what's going to happen this Labor Day?
Everything is online.
It's gonna be online.
Everything is online. I know a few areas like Ottawa who are doing it in person, having an actual parade, and Hamilton. But other than that, it's all online.
So what about your swags? I mean, come on, that's what most people goes to.
I haven't even thought about this one.
So you guys haven't been discussing. I mean, September is just like what, 2 weeks away or
that's
so.
a Corey discussion. I don't know about
Well,
this
but
one.
you guys
I
are
don't know about
the
the swag,
are the
folks.
lead. So I mean, how much you're gonna spend on swag and all of these things
Yeah, I
need
don't
to.
know. I don't know.
Oh, you don't know. Okay, so. People, I'm trying to get it out there, but Mina is being closed mouth.
I don't know.
She claims she doesn't know.
No,
Okay,
really,
we get
I
it.
I swear to God, I don't know.
You swear to God, you don't
I
know.
don't know.
Okay, so Mina,
Yes.
I know who you are,
Yes.
and if you should, okay, 2 words to best describe you. I give you 2. I could have said 1.
I'm there whenever you need me.
So you're reliable?
I'm reliable, and I am straightforward. What you see is what you get.
So basically you're very transparent. So you're reliable and transparent. Why? Well, it's another
Thank you.
word,
Yes,
right?
thank
So, okay, so since you're transparent,
Yep. Oh, here it comes. This is the hot seat.
since you're transparent, I'm not
Fine.
I'm not going to be bad. Do you want to share with our viewers or my subscribers your membership, a little bit of backstory of your struggle, the abuse you've gone through, if you want to share it, and what advice would you give to women out there who's going through the same thing? Because we do realize that when COVID came in, and a lot of people were being like, who were staying home, the husbands, a lot of physical, mental, verbal, you name it, the abuse were just going up on the women. So I want you to tell the women out there and some of the men who identify as such, we don't want to be politically incorrect, I want you to talk to them and tell them what you do, what can you do, where can you go, and how to feel in terms of this.
So, as I mentioned before, I am a survivor. And I was so much involved in my story, but I had 3 small kids, and I was thrown out of my home with my kids, and struggled a lot. And at that time, I was also doing my nursing, so I was really down, as down as you can be. And raised my kids, went through school, and I just want to share the type of abuse, because that's important. It's not just physical, because abuse is not just physical. It's emotional, it's financial, it's mentally abuse, it's psychological, it's everything, even religion. And I experienced quite a few of those in my journey. So I got my nursing license, and then at a casual position at Sunnybrook, and everything is history from there. But what I will say to the women out there, And this is why I share my story, because I want you to know that if I can do it, you can do it.
So who do I need to get to have this discussion? Because a lot of folks out there want to know, where is my $3?
Sure, like as I said earlier, we each have our own portfolios. Charlene oversees the long-term care.
I need to know, Charlene, if you're watching, I need to have this chit chat. We need to kiki, girl. We need to have this talk together, because a lot of folks, and okay, from your personal perspective, and I'm putting you on the spot, do you think what the government did is fair?
No.
I mean, yes, I get it. We have this coming a long time, PSWs, but also it's everybody that was in the pandemic together.
Yes.
So why is the government putting us up against each other?
And I was just going to say that that's what the government do, divide and conquer. You know, and this is a time where, yes, I know, and I got my nursing cap on again. PSW. My mom's a PSW, by the way. ST retired, but so when we have these discussions,
chats.
I don't know if you want to call them discussions, but yeah, but you know, PSWs, they have their $3. I get it, but everybody was included. Everybody was part of the COVID. Everyone contributed some way, somehow. And yes, I know nurses are out there, and I get it. And that's why I feel that everyone should get the $3.
So how do you feel about I mean, like I've seen it where like the RPNs are talking smack and saying, oh, maybe I should give up my license and go do that or whatnot. Like, what would you say to those people out there who feels that they're unappreciated? Because basically that's how it seems. Hang in there, it's coming.
No, look, hospital sector, we're right now bargaining.
Yeah.
Against this bill 124, issue. So what I find is that us nurses, we don't get involved a lot. We always say, well, that's what the union's there for. I would want to encourage all of my nursing colleagues to please get involved. Please write to your MPPs, reach out to your government, and vote for the people who vote for health.
Yes. So politics
does matter.
Politics matter, right? But so what would you tell your RPNs out there who wants to give up their license? Hang on to your license.
Don't
you
give work so hard. You know how hard we work to get our license. I know right now it's tough, but guys, please hang in there. It's important. Without registered practical nurses, we can't function. We need each other. We need to continue what we do, and if we quit, then who's going to be the voices for RPN? So do not quit. I haven't quit, and if I'm not quitting, you shouldn't quit. So
what do you say to your dietary aides, dietary staff?
Everyone, don't.
You need to address them, because the dialogue that I'm seeing is like they're not talked about enough. So for me, as I always say, nursing staff, or I always say healthcare professionals, right? But people, classifications, they want to know that they're talked about.
They are talked about. Believe me, Charlene, Tyler, and myself, we don't just say we don't just say PSW and RPNs. We say dietary. We say housekeeping, and our environmental folks for sure. Our activity aides. Everybody who are clerical. I can't forget our clerical. Everybody who worked throughout the pandemic should be included, and they should be appreciated. And I know I hear about the clerical, but guys, we gotta stick together. Again, what the government wants to do is divide and conquer. We gotta stick together.
Okay, and I'm glad you said that, and I'm just going to try to wrap it up here, but this is one thing I want to hear you speak about. What about the people who worked through the pandemic and now they're basically trying to fire them, or the ones who worked through the pandemic without the vaccine, and now because they want to make the vaccine mandatory, and these folks, they're thinking, well, we worked through it and nothing happened to us, so why are you forcing us now to take it? And if they don't take it, then it's like they're out of a job. What is it that you have to say to them? They're your members. You're the auntie here.
September 20th. Vote. September 20th, folks.
So you guys heard that?
That's where change happens.
Do you guys heard that? And I always say, if the politician, if the leader of this country isn't speaking your language, which is healthcare, they're not speaking your language.
Great.
People, you've heard it right here from Mina, your vice president. I'm just going to wrap this all up right now and says, this has been a little sit down kiki with Mina, and I'm hoping that she might grace me one more time, because it wasn't enough. And yes, and I'm going to tell you, thank you for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, share this video, guys, with your auntie, uncle, cousin, sister, brother, and your enemies them. And until next time, deuces.